Something is happening at Walmart right now, and most shoppers have no idea. I have been walking these aisles for years. I know these shelves like the back of my hand. And over the last few months, I started noticing something that made me stop and take a second look. Products I have bought every single week for years are quietly changing. Some are shrinking, some are getting replaced. Some are just slowly disappearing from the shelf entirely. And nobody is making an announcement about it. That is what this video is about. I am going to walk you through 10 Walmart staples that are being quietly phased out right now. Not with a big sign. Not with a news story. Quietly. The kind of thing that happens while you are on autopilot grabbing your groceries without looking too hard at the label. Now, before we get into it, number 7 on this list absolutely stunned me. I have been buying this product for probably 8 years, and what I found out about what is happening to it right now, you will not believe. Number 7. Stay with me. If you are new here and you want to stay ahead of supply chain news, pricing shifts, and stock-up warnings before everyone else catches on, go ahead and hit subscribe right now. We do this every week so you do not get caught off guard at the register. Let us get into it. Product number 1. Tide Liquid Laundry Detergent Large Bottle. This one hits differently because it is something most of us buy every single month without thinking twice. Tide has been quietly shrinking its bottles for years. And I want to lay this out clearly because the numbers tell a story that Procter & Gamble would rather you not notice. Before the pandemic hit, a standard large Tide bottle held 100 ounces. By 2022, it had already dropped to 92 ounces. Then in 2024, it went down again to 84 ounces. And by December of last year, it was sitting at 80 ounces. Same label, same promise of 64 loads, same price or higher. That is 20 ounces gone from the same bottle in just a few years. I talked to a woman in the laundry aisle at my local Walmart not long ago, and she said she felt like her detergent was running out faster than it used to. She was right. It literally was. The company says it was a formula upgrade. They say it is more concentrated now. That may be partly true. But the math of paying the same price for 20% less liquid does not change regardless of what the label says. That is real money out of your household budget every single month. I personally bought 4 of the 80-ounce bottles when I noticed what was happening. At about $13 per bottle, that was around $52 total. If I needed to do the same number of loads using the smaller volume, I would be buying more bottles over the course of a year. And at current prices, that extra cost adds up fast. Liquid laundry detergent stores extremely well. Keep it in a cool, dry area away from direct sunlight. Sealed bottles hold their effectiveness for 12 to 18 months easily. The formula stays stable. You do not need to worry about it going bad on you. You do not want to be buying detergent at crisis pricing when the bottle has shrunk again, and the cost per load has quietly crept even higher. Get ahead of it now. Product number 2. Maxwell House Ground. Coffee. Large canister. Coffee is a big deal. I know it. You know it. And right now, coffee is going through something serious that most Walmart shoppers have not fully processed yet. The price of Maxwell House Ground Colombian coffee at Walmart climbed by about 46% last year alone. Think about that for a second. Nearly half again as much for the same can. The K-Cup version went up about 34%. These are not small bumps. These are historic price swings on a product tens of millions of Americans buy every week. The reason is real, and it is not going away quickly. Coffee-growing regions have been hit by erratic rainfall, flooding, and drought all at the same time. The supply coming out of South America and Southeast Asia has been under serious pressure for over 2 years now. Kraft Heinz, which owns Maxwell House, confirmed they have been dealing with unprecedented raw material cost spikes. I walked into Walmart a few months ago and genuinely did a double take at the coffee aisle. The large canister I had been buying for around $10 had a price tag over $14. That same week, I went to Costco and bought a large bag of ground coffee to keep in my pantry as a backup. The per-ounce savings at Costco compared to buying smaller canisters as needed at Walmart are significant. I bought enough for about 3 to 4 months of use for my household. Sealed cans keep for up to 2 years. Once you open them, transfer the coffee to an airtight container and keep it in a cool, dark place. Do not put it in the freezer unless the bag or can is completely sealed and vacuum packed. This is about protecting your morning routine and your grocery budget at the same time. Coffee prices are not going back down this year. Product number 3. Great value paper towels, standard rolls. I want to talk about paper towels because this one is sneaky. And sneaky is exactly the right word for what happened here. A few years back, Walmart quietly cut the number of sheets in its great value paper towel rolls from 168 sheets down to 120 sheets per roll. The price stayed the same. Walmart said the product was reformulated to be more absorbent per sheet. That might be true. But you are still getting fewer sheets per roll at the same cost. That means you are paying more per sheet, whether the language around it sounds nice or not. And now, a broader wave of paper towel downsizing is hitting the market. Major brands like Charmin and Viva have both recently reduced their roll counts. Viva went from 94 sheets per double roll to 86. Charmin dropped 16 sheets from their mega rolls. The industry is moving in one direction, and that direction is less product for the same money. I noticed the sheet count change on great value rolls when my rolls started running out noticeably faster. I started checking the label instead of just grabbing the same packaging by habit, and I caught it. The packaging looked almost identical. I bought a large pack of 12 triple rolls while they were still at a price point I was comfortable with. I paid just under $18 for a full bulk pack. Had I waited and the price shifted the way similar products have been shifting, I would have paid noticeably more for the same number of sheets. I saved roughly $4 to $5 on that single purchase just by moving early. Paper towels store forever. Literally. Keep them dry. Keep them in their original packaging or in a clean container. Stack them in a closet, a garage shelf, or under the sink. They do not go stale. They do not expire. This is one of the easiest and most practical items to stock up on when prices are reasonable. Do not let the packaging fool you into thinking you are getting the same deal you always got. Check the sheet count before you put it in the cart. Product number 4. Great value canned vegetables. Family size varieties. Here is one that surprised me when I really dug into it. Canned vegetables feel like the one thing that should never change. Steady supply, simple product, long shelf life, and yet, Walmart has been quietly trimming the variety selection in its great value canned vegetable line across many stores. Family-size cans of corn, green beans, peas, and mixed vegetables in particular are showing up out of stock more frequently in certain markets. What started as inconsistent availability is now looking more like a deliberate reduction in SKU count. When a retailer wants to clear out a format they do not want to carry anymore, they do not put up a sign. They just stop ordering it and let the shelf go empty. Import tariffs have added pressure on aluminum costs. Tariff-related cost increases on goods coming from Southeast Asia and China have pushed the price of raw materials used in canned goods higher. The margin on a basic can of corn is already thin. When costs climb, brands and retailers have to make choices about which sizes and varieties justify shelf space. I added a case of great value canned green beans and a case of corn to my pantry this past month, 12 cans of each at around 70 cents per can. That is about $8.50 per case for a product that gives me nearly 2.5 to 3 years of shelf life if stored correctly. Stored in a cool, dry area away from heat sources, canned vegetables hold up extremely well. Keep your cans off concrete floors if possible. A small shelf or wooden pallet underneath makes a difference in a garage or basement. Check for any dents around the seam areas and rotate your stock when you add new cans. This is basic pantry prep that pays off every single time prices spike. You don't want to be caught needing a quick budget dinner and finding bare shelves where these used to be. Stock now while the price and availability are still reasonable. Product number 5. Equate ibuprofen, 500 count bottles. Now we are getting into territory that genuinely surprised me when I checked. Pain relief. Basic over-the-counter medication. The kind of thing you grab without thinking and toss in the cart. Equate is Walmart's pharmacy and health brand. It covers things like ibuprofen, acetaminophen, allergy pills, and similar everyday medications. The large economy-size bottles of Equate ibuprofen and similar generics have been quietly losing shelf space in certain store formats as Walmart accelerates its transition toward smaller store footprints and reformatted health aisles. The 500 count bottles in particular are showing up less reliably in neighborhood market locations. The cost pressure is real too. Active pharmaceutical ingredients sourced from overseas manufacturing facilities have faced supply disruptions. A retail buyer I heard speak at a consumer conference late last year mentioned that domestic demand for economy-size OTC medications has outpaced supply for several SKUs across the major generic labels. That pressure does not show up as a headline. It shows up as a gap on the shelf. I walked through my local Walmart last month and grabbed two 500-count bottles of Equate ibuprofen. At about $12 each, that was a $24 investment for a product I know my household goes through regularly. If I had to replace that stock at a drugstore buying a 100-count bottle at a time, I would easily spend $40 to $50 for the same total pill count. Ibuprofen stored properly lasts up to 4 to 5 years beyond its printed expiration date, according to studies on pharmaceutical shelf stability. Keep it in a cool, dry place away from humidity. A medicine cabinet in a climate-controlled part of the house is ideal. Do not store medications in bathrooms with high humidity. This is about peace of mind. You do not want to be paying CVS prices for pain relief when you could have locked in Equate pricing months earlier. Product number 6, Charmin Ultra Soft Toilet Paper, Mega Rolls Toilet Paper. I know. But hear me out, because this one is real and it is already happening to you even if you have not noticed yet. Charmin Ultra Soft Mega Rolls recently dropped 16 sheets per roll. They went from 224 sheets down to 208. That is a 7% reduction in what you are getting per roll. The multi-pack pricing has largely stayed the same, or increased. So you are paying more per sheet, while the box looks nearly identical to what you have been buying for years. And this is not isolated. Viva, the major competitor, dropped from 94 sheets per double roll to 86. The whole toilet paper category is in a quiet downsizing cycle that most shoppers have not fully clocked. The packaging stays big. The marketing stays friendly. The sheet count just keeps quietly going down. A supply chain analyst whose work I follow posted data showing that pulp and fiber raw material costs have remained elevated well into 2025 and 2026. Manufacturers are absorbing what they can and passing the rest on through sheet count reductions because consumers respond more to a price increase on the label than they do to a smaller number printed in small type on the side of the box. I personally grabbed a 48-roll pack of Charmin at Walmart last month and paid around $28. Per-sheet math on that pack was still better than almost anything I could find at a dollar store or convenience store buying in small quantities. If prices continue the trajectory they have been on, that same pack will likely cost $32 to $35 before the end of the year. Toilet paper stores indefinitely, as long as it stays dry and away from pests. Vacuum seal bags are great for long-term storage if you have the space. A linen closet, a dry corner of the basement, or an underbed storage container all work perfectly well. You are never going to regret having extra toilet paper. You don't want to be scrambling. You remember 2020. Stock up while the count is still reasonable and the price has not jumped again. Product number 7, Great Value Orange Juice from Concentrate Half Gallon. Here is number 7. And I want to be honest with you, this one genuinely stunned me because I did not see it coming on this product. Great Value Orange Juice from Concentrate has been showing inconsistent availability across stores and a quiet reformulation that shoppers have started calling out online. There was even a video from a shopper that went semi-viral on TikTok with the caption about Great Value OJ, and I quote, "They think we don't notice." The reformulated version coming in now in some markets uses a slightly altered concentrate blend, and some shoppers are reporting a noticeably different taste profile on the newer batches. What is driving this? Florida's citrus crop has been devastated. Multiple back-to-back hurricane seasons combined with citrus greening disease have wiped out an enormous percentage of Florida's orange production over the past several years. Brazil is now the dominant global supplier of orange juice concentrate, and Brazil's export prices have climbed sharply as global demand outpaces supply. The per-unit cost of concentrate for a budget store brand label like Great Value leaves almost no margin to absorb those increases without reformulating or reducing fill weight. I bought a case of 12 half-gallon cartons of Great Value OJ from Concentrate when I noticed availability was getting spotty in my area. At about $2.20 per carton, that was a little over $26 total. Today, some stores in my region have them running closer to $2.60. That is a meaningful difference across a case. Unopened cartons of shelf-stable orange juice from concentrate can last well beyond the printed best-by date if kept at stable temperatures. Once opened, refrigerate and consume within 7 to 10 days. For longer pantry storage, consider frozen concentrate cans. They last even longer, and the price per serving is very competitive right now. This is a product your family drinks probably without thinking. It is a staple, and it is quietly under pressure in ways most people will not notice until the shelf is bare or the price jumps another 30 cents and does not come back down. Product number 8. Reynolds Wrap Aluminum Foil, Large Rolls. This one is quiet, but it is real. Reynolds Wrap aluminum foil rose by about 13% in price at Walmart in 2025. The company directly pointed to historic and sustained cost increases driven by tariffs on imported aluminum as the reason. And here is what makes this important for your pantry budget. Aluminum foil is a product that almost nobody thinks to stock up on. We all just buy it when we run out. But aluminum is a commodity that goes through real price cycles tied directly to global manufacturing costs and tariff policy. Right now, tariffs on goods from key manufacturing regions have pushed aluminum input costs to levels the industry has not dealt with in years. Reynolds Wrap confirmed the increase. They did not walk it back. In some markets, the larger economy rolls of Reynolds Wrap are also seeing reduced availability as Walmart optimizes shelf space and favors higher turnover sizes. The 200 square foot and 250 square foot rolls that used to sit reliably on the shelf are less consistent to find in certain store formats. I picked up 3 200 square foot rolls of Reynolds Wrap on my last Walmart run, at around $8 per roll before the recent increase that is $24 for a supply that will last my household the better part of a year given typical use. If I had bought those same rolls after the price had fully adjusted, that would have been closer to $9 each or more. Aluminum foil stores indefinitely as long as the box stays dry and the foil does not get crushed or punctured. It does not expire. It does not degrade in quality. Keep it in a drawer or a pantry shelf and it will be there when you need it. This is a one-and-done stock-up item that costs you almost nothing to hold. You will use this every week. Stock up before the next tariff round bites harder. Product number 9. Great Value Frozen Breakfast. Burritos Family Pack. Frozen breakfast items are going through a serious shift right now, and the family pack format at Walmart is one of the first casualties. Great Value frozen breakfast burritos in the family pack size have been showing reduced availability, and in some stores have disappeared from the freezer section entirely, with no replacement announced. This is not a recall situation. This is a quiet SKU rationalization. When a retailer pulls a family pack and replaces it with smaller individual portions at a higher per unit cost, they do not tell you. You just notice one day that the big bag is gone. What is driving this? Egg costs are still elevated. Avian flu outbreaks have devastated portions of the egg-laying flock multiple times in the last 2 years. Cheese and pork prices are up as well. When your primary ingredients for a budget frozen breakfast item are all under simultaneous cost pressure, the economics of maintaining a low-price family pack get very difficult very fast. A grocery distribution analyst whose newsletter I follow mentioned that frozen breakfast is one of the categories seeing the most active SKU reduction across major retailers as margins compress. Walmart has been aggressive about cutting slower-moving items and reformatting freezer sections to prioritize higher-margin products. I grabbed 2 family packs of Great Value frozen breakfast burritos when I found them in stock at my store. At around $7 per pack, that was $14 for a supply that could cover a month or more of quick weekday breakfasts in my household. Individual packaged burritos at convenience stores can run $2 to $3 each for a smaller product. The savings of buying family packs at Walmart while they are still available are very real. Frozen burritos hold well for 3 to 6 months in a proper freezer at 0 degrees or below. Keep them in their original packaging or transfer to a sealed freezer bag to prevent freezer burn. Label the date so you know when to rotate your stock. Do not sleep on this one. Budget frozen breakfasts are a family staple for a reason. When the family pack disappears, you will pay significantly more per serving for the same basic meal. Product number 10. Dove Sensitive Skin Bar Soap 8-count pack. And we end on this one because it represents something personal. Dove bar soap, the plain sensitive skin variety. This is probably in more American bathrooms than almost any other single personal care item, and it is getting expensive in a way that should matter to every household. Dove soap prices rose at Walmart in 2025 as part of the broader wave of personal care cost increases. The 8-count packs have seen notable price movement, and the availability of the largest count packs in the sensitive skin variety specifically has become inconsistent in certain markets. Unilever, which makes Dove, has been dealing with rising raw material and packaging costs. Tariffs on certain imported components used in personal care formulations have added to that pressure. What makes this one feel personal is that the sensitive skin variety is not just a preference product for a lot of families. It is a necessity. People with eczema, dry skin, or sensitivities specifically seek this out. When availability tightens on this exact SKU, those families do not have an easy substitute. And knowing that is exactly when prices tend to hold firm or creep higher. I bought a 12-count bundle of Dove Sensitive Bar Soap the last time I saw them well-stocked at my local Walmart. At roughly $14 for 12 bars, that works out to about $1.17 per bar. Individual bars of Dove at drugstores and convenience stores run closer to $2. That is a 40-cent savings per bar, which across a family of 4 over a year adds up to real money. Bar soap has an incredibly long shelf life. Properly stored in a cool, dry place out of direct sunlight, bar soap can last 3 to 5 years without any meaningful loss of effectiveness. Keep it in the original wrapper. Store extra bars in a bathroom cabinet, a bedroom drawer, or a plastic bin in the linen closet. You do not need to do anything special. Just keep it dry. This is one of those items where there is absolutely no reason not to have extra on hand. None. The price pressure is real, the availability is getting uneven, and the peace of mind of having a full supply is worth every dollar. So here is what I want you to take away from everything we just went through. Every single item on this list is under pressure from the same cluster of forces: tariffs on imported goods, raw material cost spikes, supply chain disruptions, and quiet retail decision-making that never makes the news. Walmart is not doing anything extraordinary here. They are responding to real economic pressure. But the way they respond, quietly, gradually, through small changes you might not notice on your own, that is exactly what this channel exists to help you see. The people who win in this environment are not the people who react after the fact. They are the people who saw it coming, who bought the coffee before the price jumped, who grabbed the big packs before the SKU disappeared, who noticed the sheet count had dropped and adjusted their buying before the cost per sheet jumped again. That is you now. You watched this video. You have the information. I am not saying go spend money you do not have. I am saying be intentional. When you go to Walmart this week, just look at the shelf. Check the unit price. Check the count. Notice what is there and what is not. You will start to see the pattern yourself, because by the time most shoppers figure this out, the good prices will be gone, the big packs will be gone, and the shelves will look different than they do today. You got here early. That matters. If this video helped you, please hit the like button. It truly helps this channel reach more people who need this information. Hit subscribe if you are not already here and turn on the notification bell because we do this every single week. More stock-up alerts, more supply chain news, more insider warnings coming your way soon. I appreciate every one of you who watches, shares, and shows up here. You are part of a community of people who choose to stay informed instead of getting surprised. And that is something worth showing up for. I will see you in the next one.